Federal Contracting as a Team of One, the story of Eric and the BidWiz. Today we have Eric, and Eric is about to go on an eye-opening journey into federal contracting that you don't want to miss. Eric is the owner of Awesome IT Co. and has been providing IT services in the private sector for around 2.5 years. His business has grown to 4 employees, but they are mostly billable per project. This way, his very small business can also stay lean and competitive. In the past year, Eric has heard about government contracting, and he's been learning on the side about federal contracts on sam.gov. Recently, Eric started taking steps to become eligible for federal contracts, including completing his sam.gov registration for his small business, Awesome IT Co., and also receiving his cage code in the process. Eric doesn't think he would qualify for any set-asides, so he will only be looking at total small business set-aside opportunities for now. Going through the process of registering in sam.gov also forced him to go through the exercise of identifying federal contracting procurement NAICS codes that are a match for what his business provides. He's identified 541, 511, 512, 513, and 519 as initial NAICS codes that are a match, but he knows he can always go back, edit, add, or delete these codes as his experience and business offering grows over time. Now Eric finds himself at the I'm registered, now what stage. There are so many options and so many routes for him to pursue. He feels stuck, like he's hitting a wall, and afraid to take the next step because he's done everything perfectly up until now, and he just doesn't want to mess that up. He really wants to take his IT business to the next level, and he wants federal contracting to be the thing, but he has his doubts if he can really do it. On one seemingly normal day, Eric was having his lunch at the park like he does every day, eating his turkey and mustard sandwich. But on this day, as he sat at his favorite bench, he was approached by a tall, old bearded man that kind of resembled a skinny Santa Claus. This man approached Eric and started asking him what he does for work, and then the conversation moved to talking about the local army base that's only about 45 minutes north of town. The man was the one to initiate to Eric, asking if he does any federal work at the base. And Eric was delightfully surprised by the question, but also immediately began to realize there may be more to this old man than meets the eye. The man continued by introducing himself as the BidWiz and explained that he had over 30 years experience in federal contracting. Once Eric learned this, the conversation leaped into many questions Eric has been wanting to ask someone about what's possible for his business. His biggest question, though, was that he has a team of 4 employees, but they're mostly consumed by other projects, so Eric would be the only one working on the federal contracting part of his business. He is only going to be a team of 1 on this, and with his own limited knowledge about the federal space, Eric admitted to the BidWiz at many times he doubted if he would be enough. The BidWiz quickly interrupted Eric. "Don't speak like that. You'll wake the dragon." Eric's face scrunched with confusion and said, "It's the 21st century, man. There's no dragons here." "Ah, that's what you think, commoner. You probably think magic isn't real too, eh?" said the BidWiz. "Magic," Eric repeated. "No, I believe in magic." Impressed, the words landed on the BidWiz's cheery cheeks. "Yeah, I watch magic every week on the Penn and Teller Fool Us show." The BidWiz's grin immediately flopped to a disgruntled frown. "Listen, Eric, magic is very real, and so are dragons. They just don't exist in the way that you think they do and how you hear about them in stories." "You have magic, Eric. Did you know that?" said the BidWiz. "I do?" Eric questioned. "Yes, all man has magic power. Are you ready? This magic is the power of focus." Eric, not buying it, replied, "That's it? The power of focus? That's not magic." "Ah, youth is wasted on the young," cried the old man. "And that's why nobody uses magic anymore, Eric. Nobody believes in it." Eric could see the hope quickly escaping the old man's eyes, and although he had to go back to work, he felt guilty leaving the conversation on this note. His logical brain reminded him that this man did have over 30 years experience in federal contracting, and surely he could learn a thing or two more from him even if he was a little nuts. Eric decided to re-engage the old man, but taking back control of the conversation and on his own terms. "Okay, I'm open-minded," said Eric. "You do have a lot of experience, and I'm brand new to this federal contracting thing. But can you tell me what any of this has to do with magic and dragons? I just want to win some contracts for my business, but I'm only a team of 1. Renewed by Eric's change in spirit, the BidWiz favorably responded, "Yes, I will, but you have so much to learn. If you are willing, I will teach you." Reluctantly, Eric said, "I agree," and unbeknownst to him, these 2 magic words, I agree, when uttered to a real wizard, would instantly transport him to the BidWiz's bidding workshop. They both found themselves standing outside the bidding workshop facing a big wooden door. "We're about to enter my workshop to learn about federal contracting," exclaimed the old man. "You must listen very closely and do only what I tell you. Do you agree?" "The last time I said that, look what happened," Eric said jokingly, out of desperation to cling to his sanity after what just happened. He's quickly met with a stern look by the old man and then surrenders in, "Okay, I agree. I told you magic is real. You must take this seriously because that means dragons are real too. You must beware the dragon of chaos, for it is extremely dangerous. The dragon of chaos exists to destroy your magic power of focus, and it will if you let it. The more you start to use it, the more attracted the dragon will be to you, and the more powerful you will need to become to defend from it. The dragon of chaos will attack you any way that it can. It will attack your confidence, it will tempt you, and it will distract you away from your dreams. It will do anything it can to take you off your path at any cost. It wants only for you to be stuck, miserable, and hopeless. This world is plagued by this dragon and many others, but you do not have to be." Heeding the wizard's warning, Eric nods and they both enter the workshop. "No time to waste, boy. Time flies by much quicker inside the workshop. I have much to teach you about federal contracting and not much time to teach it. So let's get to it," the BidWiz announced. "I'm going to teach you how to use your magic power, your power of focus, to build your small business in the federal contracting space. With this power, you're going to build something called a federal sales pipeline for your IT business. This pipeline can only be built by direct and consistent efforts over a period of time. As a team of one, Eric, this pipeline will require your continued effort. But if you use your power of focus, this pipeline will take you beyond what you think is imaginable in federal contracting for your business. Now, there are 3 key systems that will make up your pipeline, and you must put all of these in place to make this work. And remember, this all requires your maximum focus and attention. The first system is called prospecting, the second system is qualifying, and the third system is bidding. Now let me explain more about the importance of each. The first system, prospecting, is the process of searching for and finding bids on sam.gov that you think will be in your wheelhouse and require further examination. This first key is very important because if you aren't coming up with any matches, then you need to evaluate what you're searching for. Is the federal government actually buying it, or are you just being hopeful? Also, how are you searching? Are you being too narrow or using non-effective search parameters? First, you want to make sure you are dynamically using parameters like set aside, NAICS code, due date, agency, and keywords to find opportunities that could be a match for your IT business. This will take some time. Prospecting is more of an art than a science. Once you think you have your parameters set accurately, you want to test them. Open some of the bids and actually look at them. Are they truly a match? If so, you can move forward. If not, remain at this step until you are finding matching bids. You must be careful here because if you stay stuck on this point for too long, the dragon of chaos can make its first appearance. It will bite at your confidence and tell you that it's too hard for you to find work and that you can't actually do this. You must remain focused and committed. It's possible the government isn't buying what your business has to offer, but that's for you to verify, and you should have already verified that before getting to this point. The dragon will also distract you and tell you sam.gov is too hard and you need to go pay for expensive software when all the software does is rehash the same information from sam.gov. Stay focused and move quickly before the dragon arrives. Once you've set your parameters and had a successful test, the next thing to do is to turn on your automated searches inside sam.gov. This will start feeding you work every day and every week that is proven to be in your wheelhouse. The last thing for you to decide and implement for prospecting is how often are you going to commit to review the bids that are coming to you. This will depend on your ability as a team of one to focus while you're still running your IT business in the private sector. Are you going to review every day, every other day, or maybe just once per week? It's up to you. The next system is qualifying, also known as a bid, no bid process. When you are reviewing opportunities throughout the week, you're going to examine them more deeply with the goal of being able to determine if it's something you want to actually bid on or do you want to pass. Like the prospecting searches, here too there are a number of things to consider when deciding if you want to bid on it. Key pieces of information to look for when performing bid no bids are due date, set aside, proposal response, evaluation factors, place of performance, period of performance, and more details about the work being performed. You will have to dive into the solicitation and other attachments to find this information. It will take you some time, but you will improve at this skill, just as your magic power will grow stronger as you use it and continue to stay focused. This key is very important because you're making a commitment to what you're going to bid on. This means you're going to invest your focus and see this bid through. This key will make or break your success in the federal contracting space. It is the primary lever that allows you to control the growth of your business, and so it is yet another opportunity for the dragon of chaos to appear. When the dragon sees you implementing a bid no bid process, he's going to become very excited to satiate himself by devouring all of your focus to this point. He will realize your confidence is growing, so instead of attacking you head on, he's going to instead try to tempt you. He's going to place opportunities in front of you that look like great bids for your business and that look easy enough for you to respond to. But don't be fooled. They may be a Trojan horse. You can spot these temptations when you realize they are due in a short period of time or some other facet that is outside the commitments you've originally made to your qualifying system. You see, your bid no bid process should be a cookie cutter process on how you treat incoming bid opportunities. If in our example you require, say, 10 days minimum to put a proposal and pricing response together, then finding something that's due in a few days should disqualify that opportunity. It's in this way that the dragon of chaos will try to make you break your systems and your commitments to your business. Because if he can tempt you in this way, he can take away focus from the good opportunities that you should instead be going after, and you will then likely not win either because of your lack of focus. And then the dragon will have devoured all of your power, along with any momentum you had built thus far. And this will leave you defenseless to future attacks on your confidence when the dragon gets hungry yet again. So it's imperative that you stay focused. The third and final system is your bidding system. This is the process you have in place to respond to those bids that you have positively qualified in the previous system. There are 6 steps that make up this bidding system that you must be focused and consistent about. If you can, these steps will be what puts you in the running for winning federal contracts. Step 1, you will be reading through the solicitation thoroughly. And like you did in the bid no bid process, you will be reading thoroughly to extract key information to fully understand as much as you can. Step 2, you're going to take the requirements for the job and use them to build a skeleton outline. You should never start a response with a blank sheet of paper, so this way you can start with an outline instead. Is there a technical, past performance, or pricing sections required? Get started building your outline by considering these 3 main sections. Step 3, reviewing the pricing requirements. Is there a pricing spreadsheet to fill out? Are there pricing CLINs? Is there a wage determination to follow? Get working on quoting work and speaking with any other parties that may be quoting work with you. This process can take some time, so get the ball rolling sooner than later for pricing. Step 4, start filling out your outline. Does your technical response require a management plan, resumes, or maybe a staffing approach and key personnel? Do you need to provide similar and recent projects as past performance? Get to work filling this out along with any government forms that may have been included to complete your proposal response. Step 5, once you feel good about your response and your pricing, perform your red team review. This means to compare line by line what the government has requested you to do and then to identify what you have actually included in your response. Do they match? Have you missed anything? If you do this, you will actually be creating what's called a compliance matrix, and sometimes the government will even ask for this in a response to make finding information easier during evaluation. Step 6, prepare your submission and email to contracting or mail if required. You should address the contracting point of contacts, include the date, solicitation number, and everything else the solicitation asked you to. On this step, always request a confirmation of receipt also to make sure contracting actually received your response. All too often, they actually don't, and you're stuck waiting to hear back, so always confirm that they received it. This concluded the training between Eric and the BidWiz. The BidWiz imparted some passing words before sending Eric back to his favorite bench in the park, buzzing and feeling drunk on all the possibilities that he sees with federal contracting. 3 months quickly go by with Eric hard at work and having completed his first quarter in federal contracting, but he has now become demoralized by the results that he's received so far. Eric is reviewing his sales pipeline that the BidWiz taught him how to build, and he doesn't know what's going wrong. He stayed focused and he did all the work. Over the last 3 months, he's prospected 20 opportunities that could be a match for his IT business. Of those 20, he performed 7 bid no bids, and he decided to ultimately bid on 4 of them. But out of all that work, he won nothing. 0 goose egg. Eric's confidence quickly starts to fall, and he begins to question if federal contracting is even right for his business anymore. The Dragon of Chaos approaches and is ready to finish Eric off. The BidWiz arrives in the nick of time. Eric, I'm here. I know you're feeling down and like you can't do this, but I promise you, you can. You just have to stay focused. Remember our training. Remember your magic power. It's gotten you this far. Eric replies, I can't. What's the point of continuing? I'm just not good at it. Other businesses are better than me. They have teams and they're smarter and they have more experience. I'm just not meant to do federal contracting. It's too hard. The BidWiz slaps Eric in the back of the head. That's preposterous. Do you think this is all random? I chose you. I've seen how hard you work and how focused you can be, and that's what it takes. You just need to be consistent. You can't give up. It's always darkest before the dawn, and now is the time for you to fight back. You are in the clutches of the Dragon of Chaos, and it will devour you if you let it. Those who are successful make it through this and come out even stronger. I have one thing that can help you, but only you can use it to strengthen your magic to ward off the Dragon of Chaos. The BidWiz throws Eric a magnifying glass. Look inside, the wizard hurries Eric. When Eric looks inside, he can see everything he did the last 3 months. Despite being in the jaws of the dragon, Eric starts to remember how proud he was of all the work he had done to this point. He remembers how far he came just from the day in the park that he met the wizard. He looks closer and sees that he even had extra time that he could have used to work harder. He sees that he acted a bit complacent, like he knew everything after meeting the wizard and that all the hard work was already done for him. He sees that he's bragging to his friends that he was going to win so many contracts this year. And he sees that he forgot that the wizard told him he had to be consistent over time. And only 3 months had passed. He hasn't given it enough time even to judge or even to give himself a real chance at this. Eric holds up the magnifying glass and looks at the dragon through it. It blurs the dragon, and now he sees what he can do differently. He realizes he can play the numbers game. He can be the scientist. He remembers from his training how important each of the key systems were, and if he wants to get different outcomes and different results, he can adjust his key systems. He only responded to 4 bids in an entire quarter, which is only a little over 1 bid per month. If he can prospect more, qualify more, and bid more, he stands a much better chance at winning over the coming months and year. Eric now sees his future as bright and clear, and this is magnified by the artifact that the BidWiz provided him. Eric's magic power of focus is magnified many times in this moment, and his powerful focus on the Dragon of Chaos forces it to quickly withdraw and retreat. He almost had you there, said the wizard. I didn't know if you would make it, but you pulled through. Thanks, Eric said. I was so close to throwing the towel on this whole federal contracting thing. Now I really understand what you meant in your training by being focused and consistent over time. I thought I would have my first contract in 3 or 4 months, and that almost ruined me. You are now wiser for it, and you can set reasonable expectations for your business as a team of one, said BidWiz. Set yourself up to win instead of up for disappointment. Things aren't always going to go your way, and there are no guarantees except for the work and the grit you're willing to put in to learn. Eric went on to continue to build his sales pipeline. He became a student of dialing in his 3 key systems, and he realized that's why he needed the time to learn. Once he got these systems dialed in, he won his first contract towards the end of the year, and then went on to win multiple contracts in the following year as a result of his well-developed sales pipeline. To this day, he continues to focus on these 3 key systems to slow or grow his business development activities based on how busy his business is and how much more work he can take on. And for the BidWiz, he continues to spontaneously appear to those small business owners who are working their butts off trying to make sense of the federal space. This story has been a simplification of the bidding process for a new federal contractor, but hopefully it drives home many key themes because the framework of a federal sales pipeline and the 3 key systems are very real. I also like to believe that the magic of the power of focus is real, and so is the dragon of chaos because I've experienced both myself many times. On an even more real note though, if this hits home with you and you are looking for support on federal bids and you would like to actually go through the training of the 3 key systems that Eric went through, consider checking out my first Fed bid program that teaches new federal contractors how to confidently respond to their first federal solicitations. A lot of work went into this video, so if you liked it, please share some love by hitting the like button and letting me know in the comments. And if you are interested in the first Fed program, check the link in the description of this video to learn more. And until the next video, thanks for watching.